Welcome back. Welcome back to Supreme Body and Supreme Mind. Today is day 2. Welcome, welcome. All right. If you're watching the replay, welcome as well. If you haven't watched video number 1, I strongly suggest you to go to video number 1 and then come back to video number 2. In that way, it's going to make more sense for all of you ladies that are joining me here live via Zoom. If you can just share here on the chat real quick, how was yesterday for you? Give me 1 second, I'm just drinking some water. How day 1 landed for you? What was your main takeaway after, how you felt, most important, after our session? I know when we are entering into a masterclass, into a program, after the session, we have so many insights. So share with me here, and then we're going to move into day 2. All right, just share it on the chat. While you do that, all right, let me read some of the comments. I felt great. Okay. Sarah says here, I went and watched everything on YouTube about paradigms. That is a great tool, Sarah. I think it's an amazing tool. But like I said before, we have a lot of information, and that is the reason why many of us, sometimes we feel frustrated because we have a lot of information. What I want you to do here, of course, be resourceful, but when it comes to change your paradigm, when it comes to understanding something, I suggest you to go with someone that has an instructor. You want to integrate information in a way that it's in an orderly way. Like, we can go, of course, like you said, you went to YouTube and watch everything. That's amazing. But it's like, and I think yesterday I give you guys the example of making a cake. You don't put just the flour on the right there on the oven, and then after that you take it out and just put the milk, right? So here it's important to have an order, but that's amazing that you were curious about that, and understanding more of that. All right, see another one here. All right, you felt kind of overwhelmed. Yeah, sometimes we discover that we have so many things that we have to change. But one of the things that I was sharing with one of my mentors, and actually my mentor was sharing this, that even if we don't have the gestation period or how long it's gonna take, right? Give me 1 second. They're doing some work here in the house, so I don't know if you can hear that. If you hear that, I do apologize, but I think it's just temporary noise right there. Okay, we're back. So my mentor was sharing this example, like, even if it's gonna take you 5 months, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, the time is gonna pass either way. Might as well do something that is gonna help you to live the way live the life that you want to live in the way that you want to live it. Makes sense? So frustration and overwhelm is natural, but just actually, one of the things that I do, there's another noise right here. One of the things that I do is just to turn myself into gratitude, because at least I did attract this information and I do have the opportunity. So, all right. So now let's set an intention for this specific session. If you joined yesterday, we set an intention for yesterday as well. So let's set an intention for today's day. And remember, intention is frequency of thought. All right. So while you do that, if you can share it as well here on the chat, and if you're watching the replay, I trust that you're gonna set the intention. It's really powerful when you set the intention. Your energy and your focus, it takes a new level. We'll say that. Okay, while you do that, my intention for today's specific session is to provide you one of the most important keys. I think when this key came into my life, I was able to understand the whys of why I was sabotaging myself in so many areas and why other areas of my life were working in the way that I wanted. So this key has the potential to change everything in your life. And this is not an exaggeration, it's actually the truth. Yes, with yesterday we talked about paradigms. Maybe you're in during my uh session, I was mentioning about other topics, but if you just grasp this specific key, this key will open the door for everything. All right. That is my main intention, to give you this key and for you utilize it. Okay, set the intention. Okay, let's move forward. Day 2 is all about self-image. Yesterday was about paradigms, and paradigms is just another word for habits and ideas that we have in our subconscious mind. We saw some of the graphics where I was sharing with you that our paradigms actually live in the subconscious mind. Sometimes we don't even know that we have them there, but we only see the results, right? We also I also share with you two ways of changing your paradigm. The first one is repetition of thought, meaning having a coach, having a process, having an in an orderly way, having a protocol in an orderly way that you can follow, and with a spaced repetition, meaning doing the thing again and again and again. And I know this is boring, sometimes it's boring for the mind, but the same way that we learn to speak or that we learn to ride a bike, it's the same way that we're going to put this new paradigm. Here we don't fight, here we don't battle, here we don't like get upset with ourselves. We create a new paradigm that is going to get stronger, and the old one is going to fade away. It's going to be there, but the one that you're going to create is going to be more stronger. Makes sense? And big part of our paradigm is also our self-image. Our self-image lives in the subconscious mind as well. I can give you so many 20,000 definitions of self-image, but I love this one because it's easy to recall. And the most important part here as well, and I remark it again and again and again in every single session, I think, yeah, pretty much on the one-on-ones, masterminds, groups, pre-master classes like this one, I want you to integrate. It's it's pointless to have a lot of information in our heads, in our minds, and don't produce anything, right? So you don't want to memorize. Here we're not at school, and I'm not diminishing school. The school is great, but going back to the definition of self-image. Self-image is the way that you see yourself. How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? Without any filters, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as this woman, this fit, powerful, sexy woman, this leader that is able and is able to walk in any room with total confidence, certainty, and that is leading a movement? Or do you see yourself as the one that is shy, that always the woman that is always battling with her weight for the sake of this masterclass? We want to just, of course, put the examples of our physical body. So do you see yourself in shape? Do you see yourself as this beautiful fit woman that can eat whatever she wants? And I'm not saying that here you're gonna binge and do all those things, but you can actually, that you're not fear to um eat a piece of cake because you know that you are a fit woman. You know that you always in shape. That could be another affirmation or another belief that you want to make true for you. So that was one of the ones that I did for me. But how do you see yourself? Because we can feel really confident when it comes to business, when it comes to giving classes and all that. But when it comes to our physique, maybe we don't feel that way, and that's okay. At one point, I didn't feel that way. Most of my childhood and teens, I was really shy. I bought back then the label of the chubby, the overweight, and until I changed my self-image, the way that I was seeing myself at subconscious level, I was able to maintain the workouts, the nutrition on point, and even when I was moving or divagating from that, I was getting back as well to the normal, my new normal. So my new set point, which was and which is being fit and feeling good. Makes sense? So ask yourself this question: how do you see yourself? Actually, yeah, just take a second. How do you see yourself? You don't have to share if you don't want it here, but how do you see yourself? And this is not a way of feeling bad with us, feeling bad, self-judgment. You don't want that. It's acknowledged. It's like when we go to the doctor doesn't judge. It's only actually acknowledged. Uh, excuse me. He's doing a checkup and he's doing the diagnostic. He's moving forward. He's not emotionally engaged. So this is the same thing that I want for you. Don't get emotional involved, emotional engaged. How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? All right, again, here, if you can look at the screen, you see it's the same woman, but two different self-image. And the first one, my self-image was the self-image of a woman that was overweight. I was in a toxic relationship. I was working at a store, and I'm not diminish that, but that was a self-image that I used to hold. In the other picture, I hold a new self-image about myself, feed, no longer working in a store, uh, no longer in that relationship. And I'm not saying that by just by changing your self-image, everything is going to change. It requires work, but the work is not, it's not coming from force, it's not coming from I have to, it's not coming from the discipline of willpower. Those are components, but it's not the thing. Okay, moving forward, we saw also this specific graphic on day one, where I was sharing with you this graphic that represents the mind. The first part is the conscious mind, the mind that memorize, the mind that go to school, the mind that says, I know that, Graciela, I know that, I know that, I know about self-image, I know about embodiment, I know about all those things. But if you know it, but if you don't have the results yet, and I'm remarking here yet, is because your subconscious mind doesn't know that. It's that simple, okay? So I'm really direct and honest with you because part of my life work as well is that. I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not like trying to say, I'm not giving you fluff. But I'm also not in that way that I don't want you to feel like this is just like has to be so firm and boring. It could be fun, right? But you have to have this beautiful balance. Going back to this graphic that we have, the subconscious mind is the emotional mind, the mind that creates. So 96 to 98% of your results come from your subconscious mind. And remember, in the subconscious mind, the paradigm lives there. And also part of your paradigm is your self-image. Your self-image lives there. Your self-image was created in the first 7 years of your life. The way that maybe someone told you about something about you, like told you that you were slow or chubby or you name it, and you thought and you took that as true. Or maybe you saw your mom dealing with weight and you thought that that was normal. Makes sense. There's so many things, and we're not blaming no one. We're taking fully responsibility here. I'm not telling you go back and see in your mind's eye who put that there. I don't want you to spend energy on that. I want you to focus your energy on the acknowledgement of what are the things that you're experiencing, and how do you know what is your self-image. What the easiest way right here as well, one of the things that I like in my life work is well, it has to be easy. Look at your results, how your body looks like, your bank account, your relationships. That is part of your self-image. It's the way that you see yourself, but you can change it. You can change it. Definitely, you can change it. Bringing this again, this another graphic here. Remember, your mind was wide open. Your subconscious mind was wide open the first 7 years of life. There were no conscious mind. let me go back to this. It was not conscious mind. The conscious mind is also the mind that can accept or reject. And the subconscious mind is the mind that only accepts, has no ability to reject. So that's why so many people say, I am always like this. Don't put words with feeling in your mouth. You don't say words, by the way, with feeling, because your mind, your subconscious mind, it's immortal. It's like the soil. If you put seeds of I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that, you will grow that. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish if it is good or bad for you, only obeys. Make sense? So going back, your self-image was formed in the first 7 years. The things that you saw, the same thing that the paradigms, the things that you saw coming from dad, mom, grandfather, news, TV, friendships, you took that as a truth. So that's why, imagine that you're being here, like, let me put an example. You are now having your personal trainer, you have your nutrition plan, and you are good to go. But when you were 5, maybe your mom was criticizing someone that she was fit and she was maybe bad because she was not being a good mom. And now you're a mother, and you internalize that idea as a true, and you, in your subconscious mind, you have this idea of, if I'm fit, I'm gonna be a bad mom, and I'm not gonna take care of my kids and all that. Sounds insane, but for your mind back then it was true. Makes sense? So here is to acknowledge what are the results, what are the thoughts that come to mind when you think about putting yourself in shape, what are the contradicting thoughts, because that is your self-image, that is part of the program that you have, and we can change it. That is the most important part. So right here, when it comes to self-image, when it comes to changing this at core, I'm one of the best when it comes to that. I've been changing my self-image for years. And I didn't only change my self-image when it comes to this specific topic, which is my physique, but I changed my self-image. I went from working at a supermarket, receiving $11 per hour, having a toxic relationship, to being in shape, releasing 90 pounds in 7 months, having friends all over the world, creating a company, a movement that help women all over the world, being in the most amazing relationships. After my first 3 months in business back in 2021, when I went in my own, I made my first 30K. So can you see the big gap? And it was due my self-image. I also used my self-image back then to move myself in different fields. I used to be a dental assistant. I was competing in bodybuilding as well. You can see here the pictures. Was just changing, and it's not only the physical change. It's also changing in other parts of your life. For this specific masterclass, we are treating the physical, but you can use it for every single thing. And when it comes to that specific area, I'm one of the best. Like I said before, I know that this back and forwards, and now I'm changing my self-image. You can change your self-image when it comes to a new level, because your self-image, the image that you hold about yourself right now, is the one that is producing your current results. If you want to change your results in any area, if you want to change your results and your physical appearance, stepping into the best shape of your life, your self-image needs to change. Yesterday we were talking about also that maybe you know some people that they don't know nothing about self-development and they're in the best shape of their lives, but I can assure you that they hold an image of themselves being fit. That's it, period. How did they put it there? Maybe they call what we call unconscious competent. They just did it. But if you want to do it in a way that feels right, in a way that you know the process, you follow this. Okay. Going back to the mind, and we saw this yesterday as well. In 1934, Dr. Fleet in San Antonio, he discovered that many of the results that we experiencing are not coming from the physical, actually coming from the mind, are creating from the mind. And he gives us this specific role. We were talking about the conscious mind, the mind that thinks, the subconscious mind, the emotional mind. And this is important. I know we saw this yesterday, but it's not enough just to memorize the information. It's actually understanding, because your conscious mind, you can understand everything at conscious level, but that only will get you produce 2 to 4% of your results. You must internalize that information, put that information in your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is responsible for 96 to 98%. And when you have that idea, that image of yourself in your subconscious mind, it's done, baby. It's done. It's done. It is done. Remember, all the ideas that you hold about yourself, most of them are coming from your childhood. It's like a program. It's like, I want you to think about paradigms and about your self-image as a program in a computer, on your computer, right? If you want to change the results that you're bringing, or the way that your computer it's operating, you must change the program. It's that easy. I'm not saying that it's going to take 1 second. The gestation period is another law. The gestation period, that is that we don't know the gestation period. I don't know how long it's going to take you, but it will happen if you do the work. Here's when it comes again. At this point, maybe you said to yourself, excuse me here, I know that, Graciela, maybe you have all the knowledge. Maybe you've been doing or trying this for years, and the Jojo effect. You're going all in for 5 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, and then you just come back. You're doing all the work. You're doing the routines, perfect routine, all that, but nothing is working. Or something happens and you always come back. It's not a coincidence. It's not the karma. It's not about bad luck. It's your subconscious mind that has a program that is actually obeying that program, that image that someone put in your mind. That's it. Is that clear? The Jojo effect. You, as a woman, you know this, like releasing those 5 pounds, gaining those 5 pounds, the yo-yo, the ups and downs. This is do your self-image. That's why you see so many people releasing weight in the 75 hard, and I'm not against nothing. If that works for you, amazing, right? But or the 21 day challenge, all that good stuff, amazing. But that is only the Jojo effect. You want something solid. You want something that can give you the results that you want, right? You want something that is really amazing and that is solid. Okay, let's move forward. Bringing you back again, this picture. Right here, the program, the same woman, 2 different programs. The program changed. You can expect produce new results with the old program. It's that simple. And here's when it comes to responsibility, because sometimes we know the information. And remember, if you know the information, but you don't have the results yet, it's because you have it in the conscious mind. And the conscious mind is amazing, nice, cool. You can talk about it. But at the final of the day, what you want is experience results. And not only results that last and results that you can hold. You don't want something that you can hold for just 1 month. And I'm speaking in this way because I know how, I know the feeling when it comes to trying things so hard and nothing working in the long run. But I also know the other side of the coin when it's just work. It's just who you are. And this is the one thing that I want for you. Let's go live here on Instagram. Let's go live here on Instagram. All right, let's go live. Let's go live here on Instagram. All right, we're gonna go. All right, we're gonna go live here on Instagram, ladies. So if you since I'm watching this place in this place because we are also live on Instagram. Hello here. We are live here on Zoom. We are in the middle of day 2 of Supreme Body and Supreme Mind. If you want to have access to the whole recording after we finish the class, of course, you can drop me here in the comments the word Supreme and we can send that to you as well. Or you can look it up later on the link in the bio. All right, going back, when it comes to self-image, if we don't make a conscious decision of changing our self-image, we'll always go back to the image that was set. And remember, we were witnessing here on the screen that self-image that you hold about yourself was impressed in the first 7 years of your life. So that's why you can have the beside. That's why even if you have all the knowledge, all the help, is you always go back to the same thing because there's a program, there is an idea that you have in your mind that is not allowing you to move. All right, let's move forward. So I'm gonna give you 4 questions that are going to help you to move forward, to understand where you are, because in order to change something, we have to understand where we are. All right, let's see. Give me 1 second. First one, how do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? How do you see yourself? You don't have to share with no one, but I would suggest you to be really raw. How do you see yourself? How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Do you feel like you can achieve anything when it comes to this area? Do you feel really confident, or you feel that something is not working? You feel like it works for her, but not for you. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as this fit woman, this woman that is getting better and better, or you see yourself as the woman that is always struggling with her weight? Let's be honest. The other question right here, how do you think others see you? Not because you think you're going to care about other people's opinion, but you will project that. If you think that people see you chubby, you're going to project that. They will treat you the way that you see yourself. You actually, it's act as a command. You're commanding people in that way, okay? How do you think others feel about you? This is really important. How do you think others feel about you? Those 4 questions, my friend, will help you to understand where your self-image is at and start to moving forward. Right here, your self-image. Remember, we saw this simple but an effective description. No, 1 second. Your self-image is the way that you see yourself. Basically, the way that you see yourself. But here's the thing. I want you to pay close attention. Your self-image is just an image. It's just an image in your subconscious mind, and you can change that image. When it comes to that topic, when it comes to changing your self-image, I'm one of the best in the industry. I've been changing my self-image for the last 10 years. I went from, and we mentioned this earlier here in our presentation, I went from working at a supermarket, receiving $11 per hour, being 90 pounds overweight, being in toxic relationships, to release 90 pounds, step into the best shape of my life, having amazing friends and clients all over the world, creating a movement, a company, the House of Legends, creating this amazing podcast where I do every single week, I have to bring an amazing legend, an amazing men and women from all the industries, where I get to form amazing relationships. I also mentioned that in the first 3 months of my business back in 2020, when I went solo, after working with my partner, in my first 3 months, I made my first $30,000. So it was a huge jump. But the jump, it was not it was not because the things that I did. Of course, there's action. I'm not gonna say that it's just gonna change your self-image and doing nothing, but it's action based on a new self-image, on a new way that you see yourself. Make sense? So remember, your self-image is just an image in your mind, and you can always change that image. You can always change that image. All right. If you saw part of this clip and you want the whole recording after we finish our class here on Zoom, we're gonna have that recording available for you. You can drop the word here, Supreme, and we can send that to you, or you can go to the link in the bio later on to watch the replay. All right, with that being said, have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next, or we wanna continue here on Zoom. All right, we're back. We are back. I just shared the video here on Instagram. And right now, let's make a recall here. Your self-image is just an image that you hold in your mind. It's just an image. We can change that image, but this will require decisions. This will require commitment with yourself, not only with the program, with the coaches that you get to hire, but this will require commitment with yourself. So that was it for day 2. We saw everything about self-image, and now you know that those 2 elements, the paradigms and self-image, why the importance of those, because the diet, the exercises, the discipline, the routines are going to be an effect of that, of the what self-image are you coming from what paradigm are you coming from. Makes sense? I believe that at this point is really, really clear. If you can share here on the chat how you feel, if you have a aha moment, what was your main takeaway. If you're watching the replay, I strongly suggest you to go back to the video 1 and video 2. It's not enough just to watch it one time. And I know sometimes people say it's like, oh, I already saw that. I don't have a lot of information. Let me remark this again. And I'm going to be really direct and honest. If we know the information, but we don't have the results yet, it's because your subconscious mind doesn't know that information, okay? So the most important part is internalize that. So what's next right here? What's next? After a program, after an event, live event, masterclass, retreat, you name it. We have the hype. We know that it's more. What's next? I want you to ask this to yourself. What's next for you? Because you already know. And the woman of my community, you already know what is next for you. And sometimes we said, well, but it's already October, if you're watching this in October, or it's already November or December, I want to wait for January. In January and December, there's nothing is going to change if you wait, because the same program that you have right now is the same program that you're going to have the next month and the following month if you don't do nothing. And this is so direct. And I'm speaking in that way because sometimes we said, well, something's going to change. Maybe we're going to have more money, all that. Money will come once you decide. And how that will come? Through an idea, through a credit card, to clients, you name it. You don't have to know the how, but you have to decide. Sometimes that is one of the things that I hear some of my possible clients like, well, I'm going to wait for this, I'm going to wait for that. Nothing will change because your program will be the same if you don't change this consciously. So what's next? Ask yourself that. What's next? One of the things that I strongly suggest you, like I said, watch the replays, and also after that, if you decide that what is next for you is to actually give yourself the opportunity to change this once and for all, we have an amazing opportunity. Is our program actually Supreme Body Impact and Inner Power? It's our 8-week program where I'm gonna give you, where we're gonna provide you not only the support, but 8 powerful elements that actually build upon each other every single week that you can use as a protocol, as a protocol, as a process that you can bring back every single time that you want to accomplish a new milestone. Maybe on those 8 weeks, you set an intention and you start accomplishing that. And when you achieve that, you can always go back to the principles. But I do work with principles. I'm not going to give you the 1, 2, 3. I do have everything by yesterday, because that doesn't work. I want to give something to you, something steady, something that is real, and something that you can always come back. There's 2 ways to join that. You can choose the group. There's a few options. You can pay in full, or you can do planned payments. We have that availability as well. Or you can do the one-on-one 8 weeks Supreme Body Impact and Inner Power. We have those as well. If you have additional questions, let us know. When you're watching this replay, I think it's on the bottom, you will have the access to go direct to our link tree. Right there, you have the coaching inquire. If you're not sure, if you're like, well, this are my goals, I don't know if this program could help me, you can always fill out the coaching inquire. Right there, you're going to receive a customized feedback on what program, what service is good for you according to your personal journey. Or you can inquire directly, because we have also a landing page for our program or application for the 8 week. With that being said, have a beautiful day. And before we move, I just want to congratulate you and say thank you for being part of this event, this masterclass. If you know someone that could benefit you from this information, please don't hesitate and share that. I would really appreciate that. If you have additional questions, like I said, you can fill out the coaching inquire, or you can send us a direct DM with the word Supreme. In that way, we know from what place are you coming from. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next.